Let's take a look at 26 cool new things that were added to College Football 26, and I guarantee you there's a bunch of these that you don't know about. Number 1, they added a bunch of new signature music to the game. For example, they added Fiend by Travis Scott.
These fans touch.
At the end of the day, he just wanted that football moment, touching. They also added 7 Nation Army. They'll put this one in play. Of course, we've got Enter Sandman for Virginia Tech, the home of the Hokies. And don't forget, my son, it's time for Enter Sandman. One of my favorites, Mr. Brightside for Michigan. Here comes the 4th. Time to see who steps up, who makes the wing plays to take home that W, and a chance to mull things over. Let's see how they start the final period here on second down. Shipping up to Boston, a ranked team going into a hostile environment. These fans are ready to knock them, looking for a strong kick to get this one underway. 2001, A Space Odyssey plays for South Carolina's intro as they get set for this matchup here tonight. Welcome to Williams-Brice, the South Carolina Gamecocks. And there's a bunch of new songs that are played by the band. One of the best ones is Swag Surf, which plays for the kickoff at Auburn. Number 2, new rivalry trophies. A bunch of new ones were added to the game, like the Palmetto Trophy that's fought for between Clemson and South Carolina, the Golden Boot for my LSU Tigers versus Arkansas, the Bones Trophy for UAB and Memphis. This one's really cool. The Land of Lincoln Trophy that Northwestern and Illinois fight over. Another great one, the Egg Bowl for Mississippi State and Ole Miss. Another crazy one, the Fremont Cannon for Nevada and UNLV. The Wagon Wheel for Akron and Kent State. The Old Oaken Bucket for Purdue and Indiana. The Cyhawk Trophy for Iowa and Iowa State. The Bronze Stalk for Ball State and Northern Illinois. And the Old Brass Spittoon for Michigan State and Indiana. Number 3, special nighttime team entrances. This year, you'll typically see different entrances when it's a night game versus a day game. For some of the bigger teams, they have even more things going on at night, like light shows and different fireworks. There's even drone shows and stuff like that. So, the night entrances in the game are actually pretty crazy this year. Again, daytime versus nighttime, you're gonna see some different runouts, because typically in college football, nighttime games are a bigger deal. So they kind of up the atmosphere for that. And for a lot of teams, you'll even see light shows during touchdown celebrations like this. Number 4, updated team intros. So, we just talked about the night intros, but for a lot of teams, they had more generic daytime entrances last year. So, for teams like Ohio, Oklahoma, Utah, Mississippi State, there's a lot of teams that got their unique intros added this year too, because they're trying to build out and make every school unique. So you're going to see a lot more updated entrances. For the teams last year that maybe had some more generic ones, they've added on to them this year. Number 5, new touchdown celebrations. A lot were added, like Hit the Quan or the Costco Guys Dance. You can find this in the main menu if you pause the game. We even got the Karen Lacey kind of tribute here that he used to do. So, you can find these if you pause the game and go to celebrations. It'll tell you how to do each and every type of celebration. We even got the signature Cam Ward celebration from last year in the game. And if you simply just move around after the touchdown, like going to the back wall, you can actually throw the ball at the back wall. Or, if you go to the goal post, you can jump up and tap it. Number 6, they've added a bunch of new band songs, fight songs, and just crowd chants for teams. So, let's look at one right here for Maryland. And we also got some new stuff for Bowling Green as well. And this is my favorite one. Check out the Houston Cougars coverage because it looked like they confused the quarterback on 3rd down. Really nice job getting back into that zone and making sure that ball falls into coverage. Number 7, more team tradition. So, for example, when you score a touchdown as Nebraska, the fans will release the balloons into the sky. Here's a crazy one. At kickoff during a Texas Tech game, if you look in the background, you'll notice that the fans are throwing tortillas onto the field. This is a crazy attention to detail that they added to the game this year. Number 8, over 30 new mascots were added to the game. And here, we're just gonna run through some clips of a bunch of them, right here, really quickly. There are obviously still some mascots that still have not been scanned and added to the game yet. But I think by next year we'll probably have just about all of them. But some pretty big ones were added this year, as you could see as we're kind of just scrolling through just a few options right here. But by far, the biggest one that they added has to be the Pop-Tart mascot for the Pop-Tart Bowl. This is probably everybody's favorite mascot. This is a cool addition. Number 9, new band formations. You're going to see band formations for pretty much every school. Now, last year we had a few, but this year they've added a ton of new ones you'll see for pregame. And it's not just for big schools, it's for all of the smaller schools as well, as you see as we're running through clips here. Look at all the different unique band formations that you will see pregame, and it just adds a little bit more flair onto the pregame intros. Hey, if you're still here, you're clearly enjoying the video. So, if you're not subbed, go ahead and subscribe, because I drop information like this all year long. If you want to stay up to date with all of the newest things coming to the game and all of the little hidden details that you might not know are there, just make sure to subscribe and I got you covered. Number 10, this might be my favorite thing. They now put distractions on the scoreboard when you're kicking a field goal. So look what happens at Minnesota. This is actually hilarious. Or look at Oregon, for example. Look at the Oregon Duck just staring into your soul. And I don't know about you, but the Western Kentucky mascot just kind of scares me. Number 11, dynamic lighting, one of the best changes to the game. So notice right here, we are in the first quarter. Look at the lighting, look at the shadows. Then we're going to move into the second quarter. Notice how the shadows and the lighting have completely changed. This was a 6 o'clock start time game. Now we're in the third quarter. So now we're around 8 o'clock. And you can see it's completely dark outside. This is one of the best additions to the game this year. Number 12, they updated the snow. The snow did not look nearly as good last year. They made it look a lot better this year. Better on the ground, better in the air, and snow games now feel really epic. I still think there's some more things they could do with this, like how they did for Madden 26. I think they could add more of that fog, make it look a little bit more snowy, but I think they made a pretty big improvement from last year. Number 13, new turnover celebrations, like Akron's tire celebration after they get a turnover. They also added the sword for Arizona and Texas. And the unique thing about this is the more turnovers you get, the footballs will continue to stack up on the sword, which is pretty cool. Can't forget about the Savage pads for Georgia. This is pretty awesome. And they even added SMU's turnover celebration too, which is one of my favorite in all of college football. Number 14, over 300 real coaches. This includes head coaches and coordinators. We got Ryan Day. You could see Marcus Freeman of Notre Dame right there. And here's a shot of Billy Napier of Florida. No real face scans here, but I would say most coaches look pretty accurate. Number 15, there are 2 new teams that were added to the game this year that joined FBS. So, first we've got Delaware, which I think is probably the coolest looking one. They have awesome uniforms. They've got a cool looking stadium. This is going to be a dynasty team favorite for a lot of people. And then you've also got Missouri State, another team that I think has some pretty good uniforms and colors and a pretty nice stadium. So this is going to be another one of those dynasty favorites this year because they are 2 new lower overall type of teams that you can build up. Number 16, one-handed spectacular catches. This was in Madden last year and they brought it over to college. If you're wide open, you can go for these one-handed catches by pressing the LB or L1 button. Typically you want to do this when open because these are very easy to drop. However, right here, I put it on freshman difficulty just to kind of see if I could get crazy. And Jeremiah Smith went up over the defender with one hand. Number 17, overhauled quarterback throwing animations. The releases are all way more specific this year in the pocket and on the run. You can even see here no-look passes in the pocket that can trigger. They've really redone all of the throwing. They did this in Madden too, but they also brought it over to college football. So now the QB throws and releases look a lot more on point. Number 18, 2,800 new plays, new formations like this shotgun gate in Penn State's playbook, also in a few other playbooks as well. There's so many unique formations. There's now double motions in the game where multiple players will go into motion pre-snap. so you can really get creative in this game. This is probably the biggest playbook overhaul that EA Sports has ever done in any of their football games. You've even got some crazy new wildcat formations like the one that Ole Miss uses. You can get very creative in this year's game. Number 19, Road to Glory update. So, first off, we've got high school, which is really fun to play. You can build out your recruiting board up to 10 teams. They all give you specialized offers. And at signing day, you can narrow it down to 3 teams, and you can even toss hats, which is pretty funny. And a really cool addition to Road to Glory is the ability to look around when you're doing your runout. You can look at the stadium and look at the fans. I think that's a pretty cool touch. Number 20, Dynasty Mode upgrade. So, one of the bigger ones here is going to be the formation subs, which you can set, which is pretty cool. They've also added Deep League history for your dynasties. They've completely redone recruiting and opened up the transfer portal even more. So, you're going to see more players leaving, and you're going to be able to get more players out of the portal. And they made a huge update to custom coaches. So, now there's a bunch of different customization options that you can pick for your head coach. Last year, you only had a couple options. Now, you've got way more faces, way more apparel, everything you need to make them look exactly how you want. Number 21, we have to talk about the trophy room, which is big for Dynasty, but this is also going to be big for Road to Glory and the Road to the College Football Playoff mode. Your trophies track throughout the entire game. Number 22, more real brand sponsorships were added, like the All-State Net for when you kick extra points and field goals, and you now also have the Lowe's sponsorship on the Stadium Pulse. Just adding a little bit more realism to the game. I think there's more than just these in the game as well. Number 23, new presentation graphics, pre-game, post-game, halftime. They're going to show a bunch of different graphics this year, a bunch of different transition swipes. So, they've really kind of gone a little bit further this year than they did last year, showing just some of the different ones you can trigger right here going into the game. I think they really did a good job just kind of making this feel fresh, and not every game feeling the exact same. Number 24, updated crowds. So, this year you'll notice the crowds are a lot more diverse. They look a lot better, and you won't see the same few fans in every stadium over and over. Number 25, more unique commentary lines. So, here's one for example. If you play Georgia versus Georgia Tech, they'll talk about their overtime game last year. Just can't get enough football. Well, Georgia Tech was the one for you last year between the hedges. They went 8 overtime before the Dogs finally prevailed. And for 26, the new Hawaii Stadium is in the game. So that's it for now. Be sure to subscribe for new information on tournaments and game dates.